Hey guys, Double Alert here, back again with another review, and today we are having a look at the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Lizard. Let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so as I said before, today we are having a look at the Lizard Build-A-Figure. He is part of his self-respected wave of Marvel Legends figures. The first Spidey wave of the year, the second one, I don't think it's going to be as good, but we got the Venom wave. That's good, right? And another Deadpool set to make up for that. But with that being said, this is a pretty stacked wave. You got the Spider, Man Noir, and Punk, two of the more interesting Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, I guess, characters. Finally got a Prowler. Granted, mine's still fucked up because Hasbro's distribution's so great. I was able to replace it. Sarcasm's king. You got the awesome Mysterio, who I had to get fixed. Oh my god. You got the awesome... Last year was the first figure I got from the wave. He was really good, so my expectations were probably too high. That's why all the other figures were as good as he was. Poopy. You got the unbelievable, stupid character Gwenpool, and then you got Spider-Woman in her blandest state ever. Nobody gives a crap about that figure. And if you do, I'm sorry, but it's a waste. But I've already taken the liberty to put the head and tail on the lizard because they're a pain in the butt to get on. But essentially, the pegs on the tail and the pegs on the neck. Not the lizard's neck, but the not on the lizard head, I should say, but it's on the torso itself. So it's kind of funny how that works. Yeah, just this wave, on top of the fact it was a pain in the ass to find, lots of QC problems. Prowler's abs are froze. Spider-Punk's lower legs are insanely loose. Mysterio's left knee was put on upside down. Spider-Woman's glasses fall off, but that's not that big a deal because I don't care. And then Gwenpool's loose torso. And then a couple of the lizard bits are a little bit on the loose side. I mean, what the hell is the deal with this wave? This wave is damned to be shite, even though the characters are so good. But we buy it anyways, right? Let's just build the damn thing. Alrighty, so first and foremost, when building the lizard, you want to just take this coat right off. It'll get in the way, trust me. He does have the ab crunch, though. And most people are complaining about the abs bending down. It's not that big a deal. It isn't. But he's got the rubber shirt over his scaly lizard skin there. I'm curious if this upper torso is reused from anything, or is going to be reused for Sauron, because I think Sauron is actually going to be the Amazing Spider-Man lizard with some new bits. The first thing you want to do, pop that leg in, pop the other leg in. Can be easier said than done. There you go with that. What I like to do is I like to bend the lower knee. It cuts off some of the wiggling that particularly the right leg has on mine. Next thing you want to do is put the coat back on. And as you can see, mine is not doing that bending over stuff. At least not to the point where it's bothering me. So that's good. Next thing you want to do, you want to take the right arm, plug it in right there. Believe it is in there. And the next thing you want to do is take the other arm and do the same thing. This one's a little bit tricky due to the way the hole is cut, but you can do it. I don't believe you. think it's in there now. Just double checking. I do believe it's in there, so it will at least be in there for the majority of the review because I already filmed that. Ha ha! But with that being said, let's get a closer look at the lizard. The mighty lizard, I should say. Alrighty, guys, so here we have the mighty lizard all built. And I do apologize again. The head and the tail are just too big of a pain in the butt to get in on cam, so I did those beforehand. But with that being said, this is a very nice Build-A-Figure. It does have some flaws, though, and we're going to talk about that. But overall, I don't think it really deserves some of the hate it's getting. But we'll just go and we'll just dive right into this dude, because he is awesome. And I don't know why the heck my camera's making everything dark. So you'll just have to bear with me here. But the articulation, he's got a ball joint head. It doesn't do too much. It does look up a little bit and down a little bit, but you're mostly going to get that movement out of the two head halves. They do hinge together. The bottom jaw can come down and open. I wish the tongue maybe was a little bit shorter, maybe half as long. Right about to there. Because I don't see lizard with a tongue this long a lot. Even the 90s animated series, I don't think it was that extensive, but I could be wrong. The shoulders move out a little bit. They don't move out too much, but that's just because you don't want to pop them out. They do rotate. They do have a bicep swivel. Double joint in the elbow. Not too bad. I guess that's about all you're going to get. You only really get like a 90-degree swivel at the wrist, hinge at the wrist. This one's a little loose on mine. I mean, really loose in the swivel department. The hinge is nice, though. This side, not so much. It's weird. This left side, or the right side, seems to be a little bit more problematic than the left side on my particular figure. I don't know if that's the same on all of them. Maybe you don't have any of these problems, and if that's the case, send it to me. His ab crunch does work. It feels like there's a ratchet in there, but it's probably this rubber thing that's keeping it from doing anything. So, I don't know. You make that judgment yourself. He's got a waist swivel. The tail, we'll just get right into that. It's got kind of a double ball peg in the his booty, and then it does so it wags side to side. There we go. Couldn't find the words. And then it does move up and down, rotates, all kinds of stuff. Same type of joint at this point here. It's got a hinge, it's got rotation, and then the same thing here, except the hinge is sideways. It's at a different angle. And I don't hate the tail. I can see what they were doing, but it does look like someone went, you know how Bane broke Batman's back? I know this is a Marvel review, don't kill me. You know how Bane broke Batman's back? That's what it looks like happened to this poor sucker's tail, which is kind of unfortunate. I think had they had put another point around here, another point around here, and another point around here, it would have been a little better because you could pose it more. Maybe even like 2 points in here, because this is really long compared to the rest of the other segments. One thing you do want to do is you want to make sure you can straighten them out. You can straighten them out, at least on mine. The tail's not getting in the way. Nothing's really getting in the way, so he'll stand straight up. The hips, they move forward and back, in and out. He's got a thigh cut. It's a little frozen there. This knee, this upper knee, is loose as balls, and I don't know why. But I do bend this lower section, and it does help stabilize the knee somewhat. So I recommend anyone who has this figure to do that, because it won't wiggle nearly as much. It'll wiggle a little bit if it's loose like this. I don't know if everyone else's is loose in the same knee, but it does help restrict the wiggle there a little bit. That and the double knee Just give him a single freaking knee. If you're gonna give him a double knee and it's not gonna work, why the hell bother? I mean, come on. He's got a hinge in the foot and a rocker and then toe pivot, which this should have been ratcheted. Of all the articulation points, I hate toe joints. I'm with Toy Galaxy to the death. Toy joints. Toe joints are friggin' stupid. But this guy, they make sense. It's just they managed to botch them by not putting in a ratchet. Which, I have to say, if the engineering on the lower torso was as good as the upper torso, this would probably be, next to Dormammu, my favorite Hasbro Build-A-Figure. That's no joke because I like him so much, this upper half. It's just the lower half kind of just falls apart due to that. And what's funny is over here, this leg, it's got a little wiggle to it, but it's much, much tighter. This leg is so much tighter, except for the toe joint. That's about the only thing that ain't tight. But getting him to stand back up, you can see that he does have a tendency to lean to the one side. So I just have the tail kind of act as a base. And I can get mine to stand pretty well. I don't know why all these other professional toy photographers or toy posers or whatever, why they can't get their figures to stand. But if I can do it, so can you. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That just looks amazing. So, oh, now it's not. Now it's not getting all dark. There we go. So bear with me, his head's kind of cut off there, but we're going to get some to boost the camera up, and we're going to do a few size comparisons. So I'll be right back with those. Alrighty guys, so starting off with the Gruesome Twosome here, the Pizza Spidey and Taco Deadpool, and I apologize if Lizard's a little bit out of focus, but I'm not going to let this video be shot in the Batcave lighting, so I don't know why my camera's doing that. It's actually really stupid because it's not dark in here, so I don't know what the deal is. But, yeah, it's more focused on Taco Deadpool back there, so just bear with that. But with that being said, he's not necessarily tall, but he is bulky. I will say if his legs were straightened out, he'd probably be about same range as, say, the Marvel Select, which I did just pick up, and we will do a comparison of in just a moment here. But before we do that, let's compare him to the rest of his respected wave. Alrighty, so here is the Lizard next to his wave, and overall, y'all know my favorites are Mysterio, Lasher, even messed up Prowler back there. Yeah. Hasbro's excellent distribution has made that thing totally replaceable, I know. Kiss my ass. Spider-Punk and Spider-Man Noir, I'd say, are about even. Gwenpool's not as bad as I thought she was going to be, but the character's still freaking stupid, and I wish it was never conceived. And then that Spider-Woman can kick rocks. So with that being said, everyone in this wave really has something going on. I mean, even Prowler being second most generic basic to Spider-Woman over there, and then Lasher after him. Even those two are really, really cool for what they are. Spider-Woman's just a waste. A waste of space. And then you got the Lizard there, and then of course you got the fantastic Mysterio, his new body, and his fixed left knee. I'm going to stop before this turns into a rant. So, moving on to a couple more size comparisons. Okay, so moving on to some more size comparisons. Here is the Lizard next to the other two Build-A-Figures we've gotten this year. The humongous Sasquatch and the very, very disappointing Thanos. MCU Thanos. The next one I think is supposed to be called Obsidian. That dude looks freaking cool, so he might top Lizard for Bath of the Year, at least until that Sauron comes out. That thing looks sexy, the right term? I don't know. But here's Lizard next to these guys. He is the shortest, but I think he is the best so far. At least in my opinion. Okay, and last but certainly not least, here is the new Marvel Legends Lizard next to the Marvel Select Lizard. And the Creature Replicas Horror Hound. Now, Hasbro probably took a couple notes from Mr. John St. John. This figure has the arched legs, right? And we're just going to straighten them out here. And the feet are already arched back, so we don't have to worry about that. And he is standing with some assistance, only because I don't want to drag this video out, but he can stand on his own this way. But this is him straightened out all the way. As you can see, he is fully capable of standing. He's just this one foot. There we go. He might actually stand up now. That's a little better. Let's bend back all the way. There that is. And look at how much bigger he is than the Marvel Select. Hasbro, you could take a couple notes from Mr. John St. John, I think. Because what does this figure have that Lizard does not? Single jointed legs. And look at how much range they got. Yeah, you got the ratchet in there, but does it work? Yes. Would it put the ACBA guys' stupid needs at bay? Yes. Because it's a damn good joint. And you guys should start taking notes. I mean, look at that. Look at how much taller he is. This is as straight as I can get your figure. Step it up, man. Time to move on to final thoughts. Alrighty, guys, so wrapping up with final thoughts. I really like this figure. Yeah, the tail could have been better, and yeah, the legs could have been, I guess, engineered better. I guess the whole lower torso, or the lower torso down, I should say, could have been engineered a lot better than it was, but for what it is, the top half, in my case anyways, or for me at least, I think it's kind of trying to make up for that, because the top half of this thing is just freaking awesome. And I wasn't too sure about the head sculpt myself, but it's grown on me. So with that being said, I'm going to give this guy, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Really, really solid. My favorite Build-A-Figure so far this year. But that ain't really saying much, considering Thanos was like a major disappointment. And the Sasquatch is just kind of average. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, I will catch you guys later.